it's just like the spot for the Warriors is pissed.
Dude, I know, but it's still the Pistons, and when you click that place bet button, and it really sinks in. Like, I just bet the Pistons. You feel a little bit
Yeah,
sick.
the post-black clarity is a bit nuts, but
It's like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
But yeah, we are live. FTB is joining us too. He'll be here any second. Happy Friday to all. Hope everyone's having a great week. We're gearing up for an awesome weekend, man. I know there's no college football. Well, there is on Monday, but it's really our first Saturday without college football. But actually, there were bowl games last Saturday, but we got a loaded college basketball day tomorrow, which I'm excited for. We're doing a live show 10:30 a.m. tomorrow with me, Toast, and Andy. We'll go through the college basketball, but that's for tomorrow, because tonight we got 14 NBA games, ton of action. Let's run the intro, get started. And the intro's not working, so we're not running the intro. That was a joke. That was a test. You guys all passed. All right, first game up is Hawks on the road in Indiana, and let's run the poll. This line's down to, actually, I have the injury things running so we can test them out. The new injury graphics I made. 262, under 262. 262, the total for this game is, and if you've watched these two teams play basketball, when you first look at it, you're like, still kind of low. These teams are nuts. But that number's actually been bet down. It was at 263.5 last night, so definitely some money came in on the under, bet down 1.5. Let's start with some injuries. This is new. I just made these graphics, so bear with me. First up, Hawks. We got Hunter is still out, but that's it. Sadiq Bey will be starting in his spot. And then for the Pacers, what do we got here? Bruce Brown is probable. He is going to play. It's highly probable, actually. So Bruce Brown is going to play. And then Andrew Nembhard's listed as questionable. And he's shown he's a key piece to the Pacers lineup, so that's a significant one. All right, so let's get everyone back up here. All right, let's see if FTB's – nope, FTB's not here yet. Prop Beaver, first game, do you have anything?
Yeah, I'm riding with the man, the myth, the legend, Jaylen Johnson. I got him over 29.5 PRAs. Got a 28.5 last night. 29.5 is the last number I would play it to. That's minus 115 on FanDuel. The guy's just been on a heater his last 3 games since returning from injury with Hunter out. He's averaging 38 PRAs during that point. 34 minutes per game, 14 field goal attempts, 18 rebound chances, which is a lot, and 6 potential assists with 12-plus field goal attempts in each of those. The 12-plus field goal attempts is key because with 12-plus field goal attempts this season, he's 8-0 to the number. He's averaging 34 PRAs. With 30-plus minutes, he's also cashed his last 7 to 10. He's averaging 29.3 PRAs in those games. Going to face an Indy team that's just been getting crushed by opposing power forwards all season long. Over the last 30 days, they're allowing the most points per game, highest field goal percentage, and 4th most rebounds to the position. The last 12 of 13 power forwards to face Indy with 30-plus minutes have crushed this total. They're averaging 44.9 PRAs with that minute limit. And it's a perfect matchup because Indy allows the 8th most field goal attempts and field goals made at the rim. They allow the 3rd most field goals made in the paint. Over the last 10 games, that's where 73% of Johnson's shots come from. They're also a team that is horrendous in transition, 24th in transition defensive efficiency, and that's where Johnson lives. As Kyle said, totals at 262, 2 of the fastest teams in the league. I think he stays hot here.
I'll go next. FTB made it, by the way. Most of you probably already know who this is, but if you don't, you'll see him on the Gold Boys channel all the time. He's here a lot during baseball season too. So yeah, he's joining us for the day. I am going back to the Hawks. I took them in a sharp spot against the Thunder when everyone took OKC -1. I played the Hawks. Worked out for me. Don't love this spot quite as much as that one. I actually got it at 3.5. Obviously, you know, the public's going to be rolling in heavy on the Pacers, and the lines moved the other way. 4.5 down to 4. We're now down to an even 3. So that's a good start. But there's a couple things factoring in here. One being the Hawks are actually 2-1 against the spread and 2-1 straight up in their last 3 as road dogs. So I think the overall consensus is that the Hawks are this terrible team, right? Because they weren't covering any spreads for about 2 months. They're not playing quite as badly anymore. And then if you just take a step back and look at these two teams and you really ask yourself, What do I think these teams are? Where do you expect these teams to be at the end of the regular season? And the answer is they're both going to be in between 7 and 10 in the Eastern Conference, right? I mean, everyone's betting the Pacers as if they're head and shoulders better than the Hawks. And based on what we've seen so far this season, you have reason to believe that. But I don't think moving forward that's going to be the case. I think we're getting the Hawks in a sharp spot here. And also, the game that the Pacers want to play, right? We know how the Pacers play. Run and gun. Defense is not a priority. Shootout. The Hawks welcome that. That's what the Hawks do too. That's why the total for this game's at 262. So despite this game being on the road in Indiana, I don't think the Hawks are going to be uncomfortable here. I think they love to play this kind of basketball. Hawks also have the significant edge on the offensive glass. You wouldn't really know it by the results of these games, but Hawks have actually been effective. They're third in offensive rebounding rate on the season. Indiana, 27th in defensive rebounding rate. No question about it, Atlanta's going to score points in this game. So if you're betting the Pacers, which I'm assuming most of you are, be careful. It's definitely excuse me. It's definitely a square spot, and the Hawks are going to score. So I'm playing Atlanta. It's not one of my favorite bets of the night, but I am on this. FTB, anything for this one? How you doing, by the way? I haven't talked to you in a while. Oh, wait, you're muted. Muted. I'm not getting... Yeah, well, let me go over here to see if let's see if it's on my end or your end. No, I got no sound for you.
What about now?
Got it. We're in.
All right, boom. What's up, gentlemen? Shout out to Kyle. Shout out to B. Sorry I'm late.
No worries, man. You didn't miss anything.
First game?
First game, and you missed one bad pick from Prop Beaver. That's it.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I see some people on Jaylen Johnson. I think it's a good spot. You mentioned the Hawks should, be comfortable here, have no problem here. I hope one Hawk doesn't. And I'm on DeJounte Murray. I like DeJounte Murray as kind of a pivot away from Jaylen Johnson. I think Jaylen Johnson's in a great spot. I don't think Trey's in a great spot. So, I like taking, another guard. So I took over 26.5 points and assists at minus 113. And I took 25 plus points and 3+ threes. That was at plus 245. And I took DeJounte Murray 30 plus points, which was at plus 490 on FanDuel. So just talking the baseline, over 26.5 points and assists. He's over this number in back-to-back games, 4 of his last 6 games, also over in 3 of his last 5 road games. And my thing is, I think he has a pretty safe floor, right? He's usually hovering right around this number, even when he doesn't clear it. 25 plus points and assists in 12 of his last 16 games and 9 of his last 10 road games. So that's a pretty safe floor, in my opinion. And if there's any matchup for him to get over the hump and kind of break through that floor and get close to his ceiling, it's this one. Game total of 262.5. I don't know if Beaver already kind of mentioned this, but, highest total of the slate, most likely the entire year so far. I don't remember seeing a higher total than that. Massively high total. We know the Pacers play very little defense, like Kyle was talking about. Both teams top 10 in pace last 10 games. Pacers 23rd in defensive efficiency in that span. Pacers also allowing the 3rd most points per game and the highest field goal percentage this season to shooting guards. So you got to love that. I also like the X's and O's kind of, matchup for Murray. He scored over 40% of his points in the paint over his last 10 games. Pacers allowing the fourth most points in the paint over the last 10 games and are dead last in defensive efficiency within 8 feet of the rim in that same span. So, you look at Murray when he's faced other bottom 10 paint defenses, 35 points in assists versus Washington. We know they play very little defense too. 30 points in assists versus Memphis, who surprisingly is a bottom 10 paint defense. 26, 25 PA back-to-back games versus Toronto, and 29 PA versus Philly. So, he's been able to succeed in matchups like this. And the Pacers play worse defense than a lot of those teams in there. Murray averaging nearly 11 potential assists per game over his last 7 games. And he's a guy that's going to see consistent minutes, consistent volume, 15 plus shots in 15 of his last 16 games, 5 plus 3-point attempts in 15 straight games too. So, he's had 30 PA in back-to-back games versus the Pacers. And like I said, pretty safe floor. And this is the absolute dream matchup for a guy to, hit more his ceiling rather than his floor. So give me DeJounte Murray, a little ladder action. I think he knocks down some threes. I think he has a chance to go for 30 at plus 490. I think that's mispriced.
Someone just called you Gordon Gecko of the analytics. Yeah, that's why we keep having him back, because he does his homework. And a couple things here. So the graphic says Murray over 26.5 points. If you notice, I put and assist. That was my mistake. I messed up. So he's saying Murray over 26.5 points and assists. Another thing I forgot to mention, Indiana has Boston tomorrow night. So really tough to predict how these teams are going to manage their rotations the night, the first end of a back-to-back. You would think the Pacers are looking forward to the Boston game, but really, I mean, neither of those teams are in their division. Pacers are up there with the Bucks and Bulls in them, so that's tough to say, but I forgot to mention that. So the Pacers' first leg of a back-to-back. And as expected, our poll's coming in heavy on Indiana, and we knew that. Pacers are going to be the heavy public side here. 63% of our viewers laying the 3 with Indiana, 17% taking the 3 with Atlanta. Next up. And someone said in the comments, neither team looking ahead. I think I agree with you, too. I was just mentioning that they are, because it's some people like that. I actually usually factor that in to my bets. Not really in this case, though. All right, so Jazz at Celtics. And you know what? One of you guys want to grab the mic because I have no interest in this. I spent 5 minutes on it.
I'm in the same boat. Reading the prop lines, they're basically blatantly telling me this is blowout. Derek White, his line is super low. Cash's last 13 to 15 games, unless it's free money. I mean, that's weird. And I couldn't find a reason to take his under, so I'm not going to play his under. Same with Colin Sexton. Alani's Cash's last 12 or 13 games. I mean, about 5 points lower than his average during that 13-game period, too. I was going to lean Jazz plus 14.5 because they really are playing some good basketball lately, and we do sometimes see the Celtics kind of, I guess, stoop to the competition, but absolutely no way.
I actually think FTB's on Colin Sexton, isn't he? I'm pretty sure I made a graph. Yep, Colin Sexton. Tell us your thoughts.
I guess that's a good segue. So, I'm on Colin Sexton. I had a lot of trouble with this game. I have the most trouble with games that I like so much in, right? I like so many things. So, I'll start with Colin Sexton, and I got a little build-up for people that care about that kind of shit. But, so Colin Sexton, 15-plus points, minus 125. And I took Sexton 20-plus points at plus 245. I don't get this line at all. This line is possibly because, Boston is a good defensive team, but they haven't been elite lately, which I'll talk about in a second. Starting with the basics, 15-plus points for Sexton in 12 of his last 13 games, 8 straight road games, and in 18 of his last 20 games when playing 25-plus minutes. Obviously, that's a big talking point. He's in the starting lineup now, seeing pretty consistent minutes. The Jazz rotation has changed a lot this season so far, but when Sexton is getting his minutes, he's aggressive, always looking for his shots. He played 25-plus minutes in 12 of his last 13 games. Only one he didn't was because of a blowout. The volume has been amazing too. So over his last 7 games, he's averaging nearly 14 shots per game, nearly 7 free throws per game, which surprised me a little bit. That just kind of lends to his aggressiveness. That leads the team by far, those 7 free throw attempts per game. He's also second on the team in drives per game and points per game off of drives in that span, which I think would be good in this matchup. Like I said, Celtics are a good defensive team, but they haven't been elite as of late, ranking middle of the pack in several defensive categories like points per game allowed, defensive rating, 3-point shooting. They're also middle of the pack in points in the paint allowed and in mid-range defensive efficiency. Those are 2 places where I think Sexton can eat in this matchup. Over the last 7 games, the Celtics are also allowing the 6th most points per game to point guards. Celtics have just been getting eaten alive by guards for most of the season, probably because they normally switch everything on defense and they play some mostly drop coverage. I think Sexton can take advantage of that in this matchup, like he's done in the past. His last 8 games versus Celtics, when playing 25-plus minutes, he scored 15-plus points in 7 of those 8 games, averaging nearly 25 points per game. And he scored 28-plus points in 3 straight versus Boston with 25-plus minutes. So I think he's going to get the minutes. I think he's going to get the volume. If he takes 10-plus shots, gets to the line a couple times, to the free throw line a couple times, I think he absolutely soars over this number. So maybe a trap, but a trap I'm completely willing to step in and look like an idiot in. So
to respond to a couple comments, yes, I agree that the Jazz have looked much better as of late, for sure, since they got healthy. Don't love betting the Jazz on the road, and I just don't love this spot for him on the road in Boston either. Don't like really the matchup. If Boston gets hot from outside, I don't think they can keep up. But I, if you've been following me, I've been down to bet the Jazz in Utah for sure. But on the road, just not so much. And Michael Doss says over 238.5, so he kind of agrees with what you were saying. But yeah,
I'm sorry. One more thing, if I can.
Go ahead.
I also have, like I said, I like so much in this game. So I also have a little builder. A lot of people don't like this. If you don't, fuck off. But Jason Tatum 20+ points, Lauri Markkanen 2+ threes, Colin Sexton over 1.5 assists, and Jaylen Brown 4+ first quarter points is -120 on DraftKings. I really like that builder. Something I've been trying to incorporate in, something I've been racking up the units in. So really like that builder. I think it's a great spot for JT, JB, however you want to go in this game. I think it's a great spot. But the Celtics usually do play down in their competition, but we've been absolutely smoking teams that we should be smoking as of late. So who knows? But that's what I like. If you like builder action, I like that too.
And I'll put it up on the screen before we go to the next game. Gun to my head, if I'm picking a side against the spread, I would take the 14, but I'm not betting this. It wasn't on my final ticket, but I'll put it up there for people who want to know what I would do. And Ark, wow. So the Jazz won this poll. 40, hold on, wait for it to come up. 40% of you said you would take the 14 points with Utah. 34% said you would lay the 14 with Boston. So Utah wins the poll. A lot of people like the Jazz in this spot. All right, let's move on to game number 3. OKC at Brooklyn. Oh, I forgot to do the new cool injury graphics in the last one. I'll do it in this one. Over 234.5. Polls running. Check this out. This is brand new, FTB. I don't even know if you've seen it yet. So, go bam, bam. All right, so first up, and it's the Hornets, so it didn't even work. Those injury graphics will be coming soon to this show. I haven't quite mastered them yet. So OKC, I'm going to go first on this one because I actually gave this one out on YouTube last night. I don't care how square it is. I'm on OKC. I think it's a perfect get-right spot for them. If you watched the other night, I faded the Thunder. I took the Hawks on Wednesday night because it was a terrible spot for Oklahoma City. It was their third game in 4 nights. I'm not even going to call it a buy low spot after one loss, but look, OKC has 2 full days off after this. There's nothing to look ahead to. Beating up on an inferior Nets team, and the Nets are auto fade for me. The Nets are terrible right now. They're 2-12. I think it's 2-12 in their last 10. They might be 2-11, but they're 2-11 or 2-12 in their last 13 or 14 games. Their 2 wins, both against the Pistons. It's been damn near 4 weeks since the Nets have beaten a team not named the Detroit Pistons. This team is in a free fall right now, and I don't think getting Lonnie Walker back from injury really moves the needle for me because Lonnie Walker is supposed to return to the lineup tonight for the Nets. So yeah, Oklahoma City -5.5. I even saw some 5s and 4.5s popping up, which is terrifying. No question, that's sharp money is coming in, buying up on the Nets. I'm not seeing it. I'm on the other side. I bet this at 5.5, so even lost some CLV, don't care. Thunder should beat up on these guys. Anything from you guys in this one?
Yeah, I bet on Nicholas Claxton. I don't know why I said Nicholas. The fuck was that? Nick Claxton over 11.5 rebounds +110. I don't really love betting the Nets. I hate Jacques Vaughn. I think he sucks. His rotations are always too fluid. But I like the spot too much to pass up here. The guy's just feasted on the glass against top 10 teams in terms of rebounds per game allowed. He's cashed all 5 of these opportunities. He's averaging 14 rebounds on 22 chances. Now he's going to face an OKC team that's not only top 7 in pace, but they're 29th in both defensive and offensive WAR percentage. As a result, they're allowing the 5th most rebounds per game to centers. He's faced off against OKC 3 times since last year. He napped 13, 12, and 16 rebounds on 22, 20, and 25 chances. So tons of chances for him to cash this number. And what stood out to me was the last time he played this OKC team, he played 37 minutes, even in a 16-point loss. And it's not like Day'Ron Sharpe was out or anything. I just think that Jacques Vaughn needed him in the game to protect the paint from guys like Jalen Williams and SGA driving there. And I think that he knows that if they want to win this game, Claxton has to hold down the fort. With 25+ minutes on 1 day rest at home, he's been money this season. He's 3-1. He's averaging 13.3 rebounds per game. And if we go back to last season with 28+ minutes on 1 day's rest, he's cashed his last 14 to 23, averaging 12. The reason I went with 11.5 instead of 10.5 and drinking that juice is he's only landed on 11 once since last year in 49 opportunities, whereas on the road he's been a bit more hitting that 11 number. So I'm gonna take my chances here. If you want to play the 10.5 at minus 124, go right ahead. I like that, but I'd rather take the 11.5 at the plus money. So yeah.
People in the comments are calling him Nicholas Claxton now. And it looks like Nicole Swanson up here. Love the Nets here. Nets will hoop tonight after an abysmal road trip. So Nicole Swanson going sharp with the Nets. FTB, you got to play for this one, actually. I saw the graphic.
I do, yeah. I was looking at Claxton, too. The only problem with Claxton is that he's absolutely fucking dead to me. So you can't bet on people that are dead to you.
Fair.
I bet
Can't bet on the dead.
Yeah, I bet his double-double a couple games back. He had like 4 rebounds. And then the very next day, I watched him get 9 rebounds in like the first quarter. He's just dead to me. But, yeah, I'm going to go with Lou Dort. This is another guy that should be dead to me, but I'm going to give him a shot. I'm ready to be hurt again, you know? We got to all open our hearts up to pain sometimes. So, Lou Dort 2+ threes is minus 105. Lou Dort 3+ threes plus 320, and Lou Dort 2+ threes and Thunder money line is plus 170. I just threw half a unit on that. So where do I start? So Nets defense. Just baseline stats. Lou Dort has hit this 2+ line in 7 of his last 10 games. Brooklyn defense is a matchup I look to target almost every single time out. Last 10 games. They are allowing over 37 3-point attempts per game, which is bottom 10. But more importantly, opponents are shooting 44% from 3 over their last 7 games, which is out fucking rageous. They can't really defend corner threes. They can't defend above the break threes. Lou Dort is, I think from corner they're allowing like 52% from 3, which is absolutely absurd. Lou Dort is shooting over 40% from the corner and above the break from 3. So I love that personally. And he's been a guy that's been efficient, right? He's not going to be a guy that is going to light it up, taking 10, 12 threes, but he's a guy that's been really efficient. So in the month of December, only taking 4.7 threes per game, but he's shooting 43% on those threes. And that's kind of continued in the new year, even versus a team like Atlanta last game, only attempted 3 threes, but made 2 of them. So covered the baseline. And looking at games where he gets that magic number. The magic number for me with Lou Dort is always 5 attempts. So when he's getting 5 attempts, he's covered this line in 6 of his last 7 games. So that just again kind of points to his efficiency from 3, and he's absolutely destroyed this Nets team historically. So last, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, last 4 games versus the Nets, 5+ 3-point attempts in all 4 of those games. In 3 of those games, he has 7+ 3-point attempts. He's made 4+ threes in 4 straight games versus the Nets. So they didn't let me do 4+ last night. I got to see if they opened up the 4+ threes for Lou Dort. I think that's a stretch, but I think it's a great matchup. I think he gets opportunities. Obviously, SGA is going to garner a lot of attention off his drives. And just the eye test, Brooklyn is a team that loves to collapse, kind of leaving shooters open, and that kind of goes to why they're allowing so much production from 3. So give me Lou Dort, ready to be hurt again. Little ladder action, little mixing it up with Thunder money line. I do think it's a good spot for the Thunder as well, coming off a loss. So yeah, give me Lou Dort 3s. In case
I know a lot of my subscribers are bet sides and might be newer to the prop market. The latter means you're betting 2+, 3+, 4+, and you're splitting your money up and betting essentially the rungs of the ladder. So if you bet 2+, 3+, and 4+, if he gets 3, should break even or finish up. If he gets 4, you hit huge. That's how the ladder works for those of you that are newer to the prop market. People still say Nicholas Claxton. Someone said over.
It was funny.
Someone said over Chet Holmgren 1.5 threes. Yo, he killed me in the fourth quarter. I think it was last week. He hit 4 threes in a row to ice my bet.
Dude, he's clutch.
Yo, he's got a nice shot.
Yeah,
I was looking at his threes too. I was really, really close playing his threes too. I like that look.
Our community pretty heavy on the Thunder, but not as crazy public as you think. There's actually a lot of people that are watching or betting the Nets tonight. 57% of you said you would lay the 5.5 with OKC. 33% said you would take the 5.5 with Brooklyn. So OKC definitely the consensus pick, but a lot of people betting Brooklyn. Next. All right, Knicks, Sixers. All right. We got Knicks +6, Sixers -6, over 231.5, under 231.5. And I'll go first because this is a short one for me. There's just too many unknowns. I'll put Knicks +6 up, but this didn't make my final ticket. This is the way I would go. The Sixers and Celtics. The Knicks play those teams tough. Those are our rivals. I say our. I'm a Knicks fan. We play those guys tough. Milwaukee, not so much, with the exception of Christmas. But the Knicks can play with the Sixers, and they can play with Boston. The reason I didn't bet this and the reason this didn't make the final ticket, just too many unknowns here. Embiid's been out. He comes back. He looks good. We really don't know what to expect from this new Knicks rotation. We don't have a lot of data in yet with OG Anunoby in the starting lineup. We don't know. We haven't, and not to mention Mitchell Robinson also being out. Hartenstein is the starting center. We don't really know what the identity of this Knicks team is going to be. We've seen a couple games with this new Hartenstein starting at the 5, Anunoby starting at the 3. I don't know if we can use old Knicks data to predict what we're going to see from this. I need a couple weeks. Show me what this Knicks team is going to look like with this new rotation before I start putting money down on them. That being said, another point that goes to Mitchell Robinson being out. Me and Prop Beaver are both Knicks fans, and we both kind of faded as far as our support for Mitchell Robinson recently. But one thing you have to give Mitchell Robinson, he has always played great defense against Embiid. He always gets up to play against Embiid, and so he's out. He's not in the lineup. Could be a spot for Embiid to really go off at home where the Sixers always play better. So I would love to pull the trigger on this and bet the Knicks and root for my guys against the Sixers, but I don't love it. That's the way I would lean, but so Knicks are passed for me. I don't think either of you guys sent in a graphic for this game.
No, but I decided I decided I want to lock in a play for this one. I was on the fence all day, and then I don't know. The more I started looking at the game while we were talking, I'm like, I'm gonna take my chances here. I'm gonna go with OG Anunoby over 4.5 boards. You get that at +110 on FanDuel. Just watching the two games that I've seen with Anunoby, the dude's got a ton of energy, and really what stood out to me is not the defensive rebounds. I mean, a lot of those are really just luck, depending on where the guy's lining up. It's the offensive boards. I mean, he's been giving a ton of effort out there. And if you look, come on, where are they? So last two games, 3 and 2 offensive boards. And I mean, for a forward who's guarding the main offensive threat, I mean, that's quite a lot right there. That's a good portion of the boards that he's getting. He has 6 and 8 in his 2 games as a Knick. During that span, he's averaging 11.5 rebound chances per game. That's a 4 whole rebound chance spike from where he was in Toronto, getting about 7.5. And if you look at some of his recent bouts against the 76ers, he's gone under his last 5 of 6. But he's got 4, 4, 3, 4, and then 9. The one where he had 9, he had 12 rebound chances, which is right on par with what he's had as a Knick thus far. And what I really like about this is that in those last 2 games, he had to defend Ant and he had to defend DeMar DeRozan, the main 2 offensive threats. So he was away from the basket a lot. Now it's going to be Joel Embiid. He's going to be drawing Isaiah Hartenstein away from that basket, and OG Anunoby is going to have much better chances to go grab those boards. I know a lot of people are on Julius Randle today. It's a bit public. So I think this is a good way to pivot away from that. I like the plus money we're getting. We're getting that discount due to his recent hit rate against the Sixers. But this is a team that allows the second most rebounds per game to forwards over the last 30 days, specifically small forwards, third most. So, I mean, at 4.5 at plus money, I think it's worth it with the heavy minutes he's playing. As long as they don't blow us out, I think we got a good shot here with OG.
Juice was asking about Brunson assists at 7.5. Do you think that's too high? Did you look at that number? FTB wants to answer. FTB wants to answer.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
No, go ahead, bro. Go ahead, B.
The only thing I was just going to say, personally, in this matchup, I don't love it. I feel like this is he has good history assisting against the 76ers, but 76ers have been so good at limiting assists lately. I know he's getting an OD amount of potentials. I mean, 22 and 23 his last 2 games without IQ and Barrett in the lineup. It's tempting. It really is. Personally, I'm not going to pull the trigger on it. I'm going to wait for a juicier matchup because if we just get a better matchup next time and it's still 8.5 at plus money, I'm still going to play it. I mean, I don't really care if he goes over today. But if you feel like you're missing out and this is going to be 8.5 minus 120 or like minus 130 next time out, then go ahead.
Is that what you're going to say, FTB?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't fully wrapped my head around this game, but, you know, one thing, I was thinking about Julius Randle too. I know it's public, but think it's a great spot for him. But I kind of agree with what Beaver's saying, which is why I'm not playing his baseline assists. First of all, it's public as fuck, and second of all, it is a tough matchup. But I'm playing his double-double. It's plus 250. Obviously double-double in back-to-back games. Potentials are through the roof. All assist numbers are through the roof, like Beaver was saying. So I'm gonna play that. It's gonna be a part of a double-double round robin I'm doing. Plus 250 is absurd. So I know it's matchup based and stuff like that, but when you take away, Walking Brick and RJ Barrett, who's delusionally aggressive, it just opens up so much for Brunson, and that's what we're seeing here. So plus 250 is an absurd fucking number. I don't care what the matchup is. So I'm gonna play that and probably look for something for Randall, but that's probably it for me for this game.
Yep.
You're gonna break Kyle's heart with the RJ slander.
Whoa, you don't like RJ?
I mean, he fucking sucks.
Oh my god!
I've not been an RJ guy. Come on, don't even ask me.
Do you know how many points Kawhi Leonard averaged at 22 years old? 11.
Bro, enough.
11.
Enough, bro. Enough.
Imagine people were saying Kawhi Leonard's a bum and traded him at 22. Be crazy. These all-purpose wings, they take time to develop. No, we're not going to get an RJ Barrett discussion because I'll go off. These all-purpose guys, he can handle the ball, he can finish, he can shoot, he can play defense. Just look at Kawhi Leonard at 22 years old. Look at him at 22. 60% of our viewers said they would lay the points with Philly. 27% said they would take the points with the Knicks. Anyway, Washington at Cleveland, another game that I want no part of. I'll run the poll. Maybe these guys have something they want to say, but usually what I like to do is I like to bet the split in these home and homes, or I don't know if this was a home and home, but in these double headers, Cavs just won by 40 points, so I would take the Wizards to cover in the next game. But this Washington team gives me nothing to hope for. Like, I don't have any faith in this Washington team. Yeah, they've actually been decent against the spread, and they've actually been pretty good against the spread on the road. So I have reason to trust this team getting 10 points, and I guess I'll put it up because that's the way I would lean. But full disclaimer, I am not betting this, and I probably wouldn't advise you to either, but that's the way I would lean. FDB, you have anything for this one?
Yeah, please don't bet Washington. Anybody watching, like, even if you think that's a side, don't bet Washington. Like Kyle said, they've been a little bit better on the road in terms of at least keeping games close. I was talking to my boy the other day. If Washington was able to keep games within 20 points, they'd be their games would be a prop gold mine. But that's always the worry with them. So I'm gonna be on Spider again. Over 28.5 points. I don't like giving out stale lines. I know it's not 28.5 anymore. I was gonna ladder it, but the value on the ladder is not there. So I like 30 plus. Over 30.5, I think it's stretching it, but if you can get 30 plus at decent odds, I like that. I took him last game versus the Wiz and had no problem doing it. I think the number was 30.5. Now we're getting a discount based on probably what he did last time out, but took 16 shots in 22 minutes in that blowout game versus the Wiz. His shots just weren't dropping early, and that's kind of Spider's a little bit of a flow player, a little bit of a I guess a flow player is the best way that I can describe it. So he sees the first couple go in, he's gonna shoot that motherfucker maybe 50 times until he misses. So just another great matchup. Washington first in pace, they play no defense. Donovan Mitchell's a guy that again is gonna see consistent minutes, consistent volume. He's gonna shoot a bunch of threes, he's gonna get to the free throw line. So 28.5 in this matchup is just a very soft number in my opinion. It's very hard to blow out the same team in back-to-back games. So if we're within 20 points in the fourth quarter, I think Spider plays, and I think he has a day. So I'm waiting for that explosive game from Spider. It's been a little while since we've gotten one, and I think it could be tonight. I think maybe a 35-40 piece chicken nuggets on their head might be incoming. So 28.5 is an easy take for me.
All right, Donovan Mitchell over. Prop Beaver, I saw you had a play for this one too. You guys like this game a lot more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I like Donovan Mitchell, too. I like the points. I like the assists. And speaking of public, this one is for sure public, but I locked it in last night. I love it. Give me Jared Allen over 17.5 rebounds and assists. This guy's on a legacy run right now. Yeah, he's a wagon, bro. His last 5 games, he's doing his best Jokic impression. He's averaging 22.4 rebounds plus assists on 9.4 potential assists and 23 rebound chances, cashing 4 of those games. He's now going to face off against a Wizards team that he just had 26 against through 3 quarters of play, didn't touch the court in the fourth quarter. In that game, he had 27 rebound chances and 11 potential assists, which is a shit ton. Washington's not only a team that's first in pace this season, but they've allowed the most rebounds per game and assists per game their last 10. Wizards are pissed. We know this, but I think they're due to keep it a bit closer here. And while that likely means a bit less rebound chances per minute for Allen, that also likely means more minutes for Allen. So I can't pass up the price here. I know it's square. I hate betting the same bet on back-to-back matchups.
If it keeps hitting,
I cannot.
I
know. I can't pull away. The dude's a fucking magician.
You were sitting in this office the other day, and you were talking about how Jared Allen was getting Joel Embiid type usage. I remember you saying that sentence, or maybe not.
He's goated.
He's goated. So yeah, our poll's heavy on the Cavs. Honestly, as you should be. Cavs are pretty injured, but they're still playing pretty well. So Wizards are trash. I'm not betting this for those of you that may have just tuned in and see Washington plus 10 under my face. This is just the way that would lean. Not betting this. Let's move on to the next one. Clips at Pelicans. This should be probably the best game of the night here. This line is Clips -1, Pelicans +1, over 230.5, under 230.5.
EQ in the chat. Everything is public to EQ, bro.
Yeah, and yeah, everything's public. So, do either of you guys have a move in this one, or should I take the mic?
I mean, I'm the only thing. It's very few sentences. I'm gonna go with the under here, under 230. I want to take an under on a couple players in this spot.
You've been stealing my notes.
I wasn't stealing your notes.
That's what I'm on, and I like it. It's my favorite total of the day.
Well, congratulations, boss. Can I say my 2 sentences? So I wanted to play it under a couple guys. Honestly, I wanted to play under on all 3 main Clippers, George, Harden, and Leonard. I couldn't decide, so I'm just going to play the full game under here. Both teams bottom 5 in pace over the last 10. And I just think that in terms of like matching up with personnel, they both have the guys to stop each other's offenses. So, I mean, 230 is pretty high. It's a high talent game, I guess. Premier matchups. So I'm going to take the under.
I couldn't agree more. And if you could see, I actually made a specific graphic for this under. That's how much I like it. I made
That's how much you liked it.
A special Pelicans Clipper under graphic. Both these teams are red hot. These are 2 bet-on teams for me right now. It's a great matchup, and both of these defenses match up well against both of these offenses. This is, first of all, it's going to be a game like Prop Beaver said. He said a high talent matchup, but I would put it more as like a high intensity matchup. Both these teams have this game circled. Neither of them on a doubleheader or a back-to-back. Like, this is a game. They're going to be fired up for it. Clippers' strength. They don't let anyone into the paint. Just 27% shot frequency at the rim for the Clippers defense. Nobody gets in there on the Clips. Pelicans, a team that loves to attack the basket. Clips have also been playing great defense against the mid-range shot recently. Pelicans love to shoot the mid-range shot. What the Clippers defense wants you to do is they want to force you to take outside shots that you don't want to take. It's not the Pelicans game. That should make the Pelicans offense uncomfortable. And then the other side, you can say the same exact thing. Pelicans play great defense against the mid-range shot, great defense against the above the break 3 recently. Both teams defensively are really good at what the other team wants to do offensively. Both teams should be up for this one. 230.5, I'm going under. FTB, anything for this one? I think you're muted.
Oh, shit, my bad. How amateur of me. A couple things. So Pelicans have been an absolute wagon in the first half. I made so much money off them so far.
Best in the league. Best first half team in the league this year.
Yeah, I feel obligated to play it again, even in a tough matchup. The Clippers have been really good in the first half too, especially on the road. I think they're 7-3 against the spread. Last 10 first halves on the road. I haven't locked it in yet, all transparency, but again, I feel obligated to do it because of how they treated me so far this year. Number 1 defensive rating by far in the first half for the Pels. They are just locked in right now. They're playing amazing basketball. The Clippers can still get kind of stagnant on offense at times. ISO ball, stale pick and roll, shit like that. So I don't know. I'm probably going to get there, but just to hop on my soapbox a little bit too, I see Jonas Valanciunas' rebounds assist is public as shit today. And that's just because of all the box score. What you call it, Beaver? All the box score cappers or the ESPN cappers out there?
Yes, the box score cappers, man. Yeah. They don't realize his minutes have plummeted.
Yeah, they're running wild. The box score cappers are running wild right today. They're pulling up stat mules. Jonas Valanciunas game log versus Zubac. and you're seeing all these rebounds and shit like that. Zubac just played in a matchup versus Minnesota where he still grabbed a lot of boards. I think he grabbed like 12 boards, something like that. But that's a matchup where they run double bigs, right? Gobert plays a lot of minutes. You would think they need Joe Allen. He played 20 minutes, right? So the last thing you want to do is be, punching holes in your TV when this guy plays 18 minutes or gets in foul trouble and you're on his over. So I would just caution against that. That's all I've seen on my timeline today is over 10.5 rebounds and assists. So, yeah, I actually like PG as well. Again, I didn't lock in PG at all. As another guy where I'm kind of been riding him pause over this hot streak that he's been on. So, like PG, I like Pels in the first half. Nothing official, but if I do make anything official, it'll be Pels first half.
Yeah, there's a few guys in the Discord that have been blindly riding Pelicans first half for last few weeks now. So, yeah, they've been a first half machine. Our consensus poll slightly leaning towards the Clips. And I get it. The Clippers have maybe been the best team in basketball for a month now. Like, they are so good. They've won, I think, 12 in a row with Kawhi Leonard on the floor. But I also like the Pelicans a lot. I really like the way they're playing, too. So I think this is like the two hottest teams in the Western Conference right now. And maybe not the two best, but the two hottest. So 47% of you guys said you would lay the one with the Clips. 38% said you would take the Pellies. Next up. Hornets at Bulls. What a game here, huh?
Premium matchup between two premium teams.
Just a preview of a playoff series later on?
I think so. One versus 8 seed.
So, I mean, I'll put Hornets plus 9.5 up, but no chance. I feel like I have to repay the Hornets. I took the Hornets money line live at plus 550 against the Kings, and it hit. So I feel like I owe them a debt of gratitude that I should put. But I'm not betting this. It didn't make my ticket. I don't even really want to talk about this game. I just won't lay 9.5 points with the Bulls in any situation. Home against the Hornets, home against the Pistons, don't care. Will not lay 9.5 points with the Bulls. So this is the way I would lean, but I'm not betting this game. Either you guys?
Yeah, I also took the Hornets plus 9.5. The Hornets stink out loud. They do. But this line feels incredibly overinflated just because Vooch and Levine are returning. I mean, who gives a shit?
I don't even think they're starting. I think they're on minute limits.
They're coming off the bench, but I mean, let's not forget the starting five of this team together, on the court together, 15th percentile, posting an average margin of negative 11.2 points per 100 possessions. Brandon Miller returns tonight, which is going to give that Hornets offense a nice boost. And it's especially nice because the Bulls are a defense that funnels 3-point opportunities, so should be getting a lot of those. Yeah, not much else to say about this stanky-ass game, but go Hornets.
FTB, anything?
Big pass.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm in the same boat. All right, let's move on to a better game. Actually, a lot of people clicked Hornets plus 9.5. 41% of you said Hornets plus 9.5. 41% of you said Bulls minus 9.5. So poll is split on that one. We got people liking the Hornets, but I mean, a lot of people might have clicked that because there wasn't a pass available.
I really think people are just done with Zach LaVine too, and I think that's part of it. Like I saw a comment being like, "LaVine's coming back to losing ways." I mean, if he's gonna chalk up those inefficient ass shots, it will be back to those losing ways.
I'll leave LaVine alone. You guys are too hard on LaVine.
Bro, if he becomes a Knick, I'd lose it.
You would switch your allegiance to the Brooklyn Nets?
No, I'd become a Rockets guy.
You'd be a Rockets guy. Well, speaking of the Rockets, here we are. Minnesota at Houston. Do you have a play in this one, Prop Beaver?
Yeah, the T-Wolves minus 3.5. Yeah, so it sounds a bit nuts to fade the team that's much better at home and bet on the team that's much worse on the road, but I think the situation is calling for it. No Tari Eason or Dillon Brooks, and it's a bigger impact defensively than one would think. T-Wolves are second in offensive three-throw rate over the last 2 weeks. Rockets 29th during that same span, so they're going to get plenty of trips to the charity stripe for this Timberwolves offense. And on the other side, the Rockets are just ripe for regression on the offensive end. Over the last 5 games, you got Jalen Green shooting 45% from 3. Get the hell out of here. Van Vliet shooting 52% from 3. Şengün shooting 62%. And Jayshawn Tate's bum ass is shooting 68%. Get out of here. That's simply not sustainable. And after facing the likes of the Pacers, Nets, and Pistons, who are all bottom 3 defenses during that span, now they're going to have to face one of the best defenses in the league that's coming to town. Rockets are a team that thrives off the three ball, setting ninth in above the break frequency and above the break efficiency over the last 10 games. But the T-Wolves are sixth and fourth in above the break defensive frequency and efficiency this season. I was looking at that site finally. I know where people's assists are going to these days. Thank you, Prop Bomb and A1 Fantasy Sports. Most of Şengün's assists are going to the three-point land. Rough matchup for that because of how good the T-Wolves are against the 3-point. So it's going to be on Şengün to really win him this game, and he has a brutal matchup against Gobert. So I'm just not loving the spot for the Rockets. I'm going to ride with the T-Wolves.
I'm pretty sure FTB has a Şengün prop. I'm pretty sure I have a graphic right here for it.
Yeah, that Beaver just shit all over.
No, I ain't shitting. Is it assists?
No, you shitting, but we're gonna persevere. We're gonna persevere.
All right. Right? I considered it today, and then I saw that. I think you can cash.
So Şengün over 4.5 assists. All right.
Yeah, over 4.5 assists. I also took 7+ assists at plus 360. 5+ assists in 7 of his last 10 games, 3 of his last 5 road games, 12 of his last 16 games when playing 30+ minutes. This line is just too low. For a guy averaging nearly double-digit potential assists in his last 7 games. He's second on the team in passes made in that span and an insane 30% usage rate over his last 7 games, which is up there amongst the elite usage guys in the league. Minnesota is a great defense, but I don't know what numbers, Bees was looking at over there, but they can be susceptible to the three ball over the last 7 games. They've been kind of middle of the pack, bottom half of the league in terms of allowing threes, 3-point proficiency. So I think Şengün can rack up assists to, on kicks to shooters. Minnesota's given up the most assists per game to centers by far this season, allowing close to 8 per game from the center position. And part of that is obviously due to the presence of Rudy Gobert in the paint, which I expect to lead to more Şengün at the high key area, looking to play make in hopes of kind of dragging Gobert out of the paint. Şengün has 7 assists last time he matched up with Rudy. And we saw some of that in that matchup as well. Şengün diamond from top, high key, top of the key area, functioning at the elbows, looking to play make instead of trying to take on the multiple time decoy. So yeah, I like Şengün. I think the price is just off. So even in a matchup that is not ideal, I think this line is a full assist off. So I'll take the 4.5, 7+ assists. That's what he did last time he faced Rudy boy. So yeah, give me the plus 360, 7+, and over 4.5 assists.
I'm the poster boy of paralysis by overanalysis. So I mean, I was literally looking at it earlier today, and I got scared off of it. I hope it hits for you. I think it's a good play. But yeah,
there's
a couple to add that in there. I'm always rooting for my guys.
A couple people in the comments, the Juice said he was on Şengün over assists also. I'm on Minnesota, and this is another square public road favorite. Not exactly a spot I like to spend a lot of my time, but I got to play it here. It's not very rare you get to play the 1 seed on a buy low spot, but I really think Minnesota's stock is at a little bit of a low right here where we can buy low on them. They're just 4-4 in their last 8. Maybe some people started to question this Minnesota team a little bit, saying they peaked early, but if you look at their schedule, they lost to a scorching hot New Orleans team. They lost to the Knicks in a weird holiday New Year's Day afternoon game. I don't even count afternoon NBA games. Like they always, the patterns never make sense. The Knicks haven't beaten the Bucks in like 3-4 years. Beat them on Christmas in an afternoon game. So I don't even count those. Their other 2 losses on the road at Oklahoma City. I mean, we crushing a team for losing on the road at Oklahoma City. They're good as hell. At Philly, another tough place to go play. These aren't really bad losses. And in that same time span, they went on the road and beat Miami. They went on the road and beat Sacramento. Minnesota's fine, man. They're 4-4 in the last 10. They are fine. But also, this is a fade of the Houston Rockets. And this number is a reflection of what the Rockets were doing a month ago. They're not doing that anymore. I mean, this Rockets team is plummeting back to where the Rockets team of last year was. They're 4-6 in their last 10. And you might be thinking, 4-6, that's not that bad. Want to know who their wins are? Home against Brooklyn, who might be the worst team in the NBA right now. Home against Detroit, who is the worst team in the NBA right now. Home against Dallas with no Luka and no Kyrie Irving. Those are the wins. Other than that, they're 1-9. I mean, the Rockets are in a free fall. The only reason I bet the Rockets on Wednesday night is they were at home playing the Nets, who are even higher up on the fade list than the Rockets are right now. So I'm in a fade the Rockets mode, and I also think there's some value on the T-Wolves. What's up, FTB?
Yeah, there's one more thing. I'm sorry. So I like Minnesota first half too. That's another team that has been playing really, really well in first halves. Obviously, coming out off of back-to-back losses, lost 3 of the last 5. There has to be some motivation to start early, kind of carry that momentum through the game. Looking at the stats, they obviously elite defense, especially in the first half. So I think they can put up, 55, 60 plus points in the first half, cover minus 1.5 in the first half. I'm making a little first half lay that's going to include Pels and Minnesota, so I thought I'd throw that in there too. Minnesota's been an amazing first half team.
Mm-hmm. Bama Boy has made the comments, and he's talking about the under in this game. He likes the under at 217.5. He's still recovering from his Jalen Milroe loss to Michigan. So let's move on to the next one. Portland at Dallas.
That was a good snap. Very good snap.
Yeah, I've been playing Bama Boy's voice messages out loud in the office. So Prop Beaver, who doesn't even participate in that section of the Discord, knows Bama Boy's entire take on Alabama just from sitting in the office.
I have my own dam. That's where I operate.
All right, Portland at Dallas. This line's at 9. This is a tough one for me. I'll go first.
Tough one, Choop.
Tough one. So over 236, under 236. All right, cast your votes. I'm just going to put mine up. This is where I would go, and I wanted to get there. I really did, but I didn't place this bet. And the reason is, so first of all, Portland's healthy again. They were dealing with some injuries, and they're all back. Sharp, Simons, Scoot Henderson, Brogdon. Brogdon. Let me just make sure. I think Brogdon's back too. Hold on, I have it open right here. Don't want to keep talking if I just said something incorrect.
Brogdon's playing.
Brogdon. So that's the main reason, because I was betting this Portland team, and I was cashing. I was betting that backcourt. They play great on the perimeter. They force a ton of turnovers. They play great defense out there. They were hitting their outside shots. They were just winning the battle on the perimeter, and it was kind of hiding how mismatched they are down low because they just don't have a presence on the interior. But those guards, first unit, second unit, whoever was on the court, they were winning their battles. Here's the thing. Dallas doesn't really turn the ball over. And obviously, Luka Doncic being questionable changes everything. If he doesn't play, I probably would be down to take 9 with Portland. But if that's announced, I'm assuming this line will drop. If Doncic doesn't play, I'm down to take a shot with Portland. But the thing is, I need a team. If I'm backing this Blazers team, especially on the road, it needs to be with a team that turns the ball over because that's what they feast on out there. They make you make mistakes on the perimeter, and Luka just doesn't make many. So at Portland, if Luka doesn't play, maybe I put a bet down last minute, but that's how I'm leaning in this one. FTB, you got anything for this one?
Big pass.
Beaver? I think
I would need to see if Doncic and Lively are in pretty important to see if the scoring star and the defensive anchor are
right. It's kind of tough to make a prediction there. So our poll, 50% of our viewers said they would lay the 9 with Dallas, 26% take the 9 with Portland. Next. Miami at Phoenix. All right, let's get the poll running. This line's at 4 now. Has there been is Durant still questionable? I'm assuming he is, right? He was like an hour ago.
Yeah. I saw that he had a limited practice he got in, but is still questionable. So take what you want with that.
Yeah, right. Do with that information what you will.
A limited practice.
A limited practice. What does that even mean?
I know.
So I'll put my bet up. And you know what? I bet this one. Heat +4. Miami's actually been playing well on the road this year. They're 11-8 straight up and against the spread. The 7th most profitable road team in the NBA against the Suns, who are just 6-14 against the spread at home. So you got a great road team, or at least a team that's been great on the road this year, against one of the worst home teams in the NBA, or at least a team that's been one of the worst at home so far this year. Look, if Durant is ruled in and Phoenix Big 3 goes out there and shows out, yeah, I might get screwed on this one. But if Durant doesn't play, I'm loving my ticket with Miami +4. Phoenix does not look good. And still, because of the superstars, they still get bets. This Phoenix team, they have likable, well, maybe not likable. They have superstars. This team could lose 4 in a row, still be listed as a 4-point favorite, and still people will bet them. So their price doesn't always make sense. So I like the value on Miami +4 if Durant sits. If he ends up playing, I'll probably wish I had passed. But I rolled the dice. And also, if he plays, how do we know that they're just going to all of a sudden mesh? I mean, probably if Durant plays, they probably beat the Heat and cover this, but I don't know. I feel like that's a big if. And also, the Heat have to immediately fly back to Miami after this game to play the Rockets tomorrow night. Not that the Suns or Rockets, they're both Western Conference teams. Neither of them are particularly huge games for the Heat, but I thought I should mention that. Who knows if Spoelstra's going to have any minutes restrictions. Not one of my favorite bets, but I did take it, Miami +4. Either you guys on this one?
I got a freak bet.
A freak bet?
So this is if KD sits. Give me Bradley Beal over 2.5 turnovers. 3-0 this season with KD inactive. With KD off the court, his usage rises to 30%, which is very high. And he's 23rd percentile this season with an incredibly high 14.4% turnover rate. Now going to face a Heat team that's 6th in defensive turnover percentage on the season. They have, I think it was 7 guys who are 70th plus percentile in steal percentage, which is incredible. And he's had a lot of trouble, I guess, keeping the ball safe in his last 7 games against the Heat. He's had 1, 7, 6, 6, 1, 5, and 5 turnovers, averaging 4.4 turnovers per game. For some reason, this Suns team sucks at home, so I feel like that'd be an increase in chances for him to turn over the ball. And yeah, I think there's good value there. So that'd be my play for this game. I made a graphic for it, but I guess you don't respect the turnover props.
Oh, did you?
You put the graphic up. Yeah.
If you made a graphic, it's there.
It's purple.
Oh, let me go find it. So by the way, someone was asking you. I didn't see it. DeJuice was asking what you thought about. There it is. Beal over. There it is. DeJuice was asking what you thought about Jeremy Grant's assists in the Portland game, and I didn't see it till now. Do you guys have anything for that?
I'd be straight up lying to him if I said I even took a glance at such a prop. Yeah.
It looks like FTB's in the same boat. He gave the same kind of face. You have anything for this one?
No, sir. Hard pass.
Hard pass. All right, so our community agrees with me. Makes me feel a little more confident. Like, hey, people are liking the Heat here. And, I mean, what have the Suns really shown us to instill us with confidence as well, to be favored? So 52% down to take 4 points with the Heat, just 35% down to lay the 4 with Phoenix. Next game. We still got 4 more games. Tonight's going to be loaded, man.
I know, Jesus.
And we have to make an NFL video tonight while all that's going on. We're going to have trouble focusing. Yeah. All right, so Orlando at Denver, and I'm really curious to see if either of you guys – actually, most of you guys mostly do props and not the sides as much as I do. But obviously, with that game last night with Denver, everyone in the world is thinking fade the Nuggets in this spot. Here's the problem. Orlando hasn't looked good, and they're really, really hurt. So I don't have enough. I'm going to put Orlando plus 9.5 up on the screen because obviously, but the Nuggets coming off that crazy miracle win in Golden State last night, which was awesome. Well, I had Denver minus 3.5, so it wasn't really that awesome. I lost the bet, but an awesome game to watch. I guess I would go this way, but I couldn't get there because this Orlando team is going to have to, before I start betting this Orlando team again, like I was earlier in the season, they're going to have to show me something because they don't look the same. And they're hurt. Fultz has been hurt. Gary Harris is out. Who else is out? They're missing several pieces.
Wendell Carter may be out again.
Yeah, Wendell Carter's questionable. Ingles has been hurt. Jonathan Isaac's been hurt. Franz Wagner, that's the big one. Franz Wagner's out. So, I mean, he's probably their best scorer. I mean, I know Banchero's the man, but I think right now Franz Wagner's probably still their best scorer. Well, probably not, but he's one of their best scorers. He can take over a game, though, Franz Wagner.
Franz is nice, bro.
Hey, wait,
nice.
They're
pretty much interchangeable.
Is it Franz Wagner?
Yeah, I mean, at least in college, when I used to watch the Michigan games, it was Mo Wagner.
So it's Franz Wagner. I'm sorry.
Wagner, yeah.
Either you guys have a move for this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under 223.5. I think this Magic offense is about to look brutal without Franz Wagner helping to space the floor. This is already an offense that's 25th in road offensive efficiency. Anthony Black can't score. Suggs is wildly inefficient on the road. Goga is useless further than 5 feet from the basket. And Wendell Carter is questionable. So just lots of things working against them here. That's going to put a lot of pressure on Banchero, who draws a pretty brutal matchup against Aaron Gordon, Nuggets' best defender. I'd imagine not only is Gordon on him, but they're going to play some help defense as well and forces less equipped teammates to beat them. And if we're talking about the Magic defense, though, they've had zero issues traveling here, sitting 10th in defensive efficiency on the road. And the Nuggets are in a weird spot. They're coming off a big win against Golden State on TNT, now playing a back-to-back where their offense this year has actually been bottom 7 in offensive efficiency through their 6 back-to-back games. And that even applies to their 4 home games on a back-to-back where they're bottom 5. The offense has struggled on back-to-backs, but their defense is actually second in defensive efficiency in those 6 games. Jokic doesn't really get fired up for those big spread games. I don't know why. It's just a trend I've noticed. The dude doesn't try. He'll shoot 3 field goal attempts before the half. I think it's going to be a slow-paced game as well. I think we'll squeak by with an under at 223.5.
FTB, anything for this one?
Yeah, I can see it now, right? Anthony Black playing extended minutes in the Magic backcourt. It's gonna be a movie. Anthony Black sucks.
Yeah, he's pretty brutal.
Yeah, he's so bad. Yeah, there's gonna be another first half play. It's gonna be a part of the first half lay that I'm putting together. Don't know if it'll be money line. I know it's juice as fuck. I don't care. But those 5.5 spreads in the first half can get a little bit tricky. I think if we do see some, I guess, let off the gas pedal by the Nuggets, it'll be in the second half. Obviously, huge win last night, back-to-back with travel can be tough. And I think those effects, you see more of those effects in the second half. So it'll be a Nuggets first half spot for me. Don't like any props. It can surprisingly be a blowout. I know it's almost a double-digit spread, but yeah, Magic are tough. They're gritty. They play defense, but with so many guys out, it's going to be hard to compete with Denver, even in a tough spot, scheduling spot for Denver. So, yeah, Nuggets first half, I think they might be up double digits at half. So I like Nuggets first half.
Stephen Harrison also, he said Nuggets first quarter and first half in the chat as well. Yeah. And someone said, Magic have no one. You're crazy, Kyle. I didn't bet this. So I put up a pick because for the show, people like to know which way I would lean. So I would lean that way, but I didn't bet this. So trust me, I am not sitting here slamming my fist trying to get you to bet the Magic. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. Also, the NBA is nuts. I mean, the Hornets did just win as 16.5-point dogs the other day on the road with nobody on their roster on a back-to-back.
Yeah, and I had the money line. Well, I took it live. Yeah. I took it live.
Yeah, fucking yeah.
I did.
All right.
Pistons at Dubs. Oh, my God. I hate myself. And I don't know if I was peer pressured from E. Shipley. I might have been peer pressured, honestly. I don't know why I did this.
E. Shipley.
Shipley peer pressured me. I did it. And there's no turning back because the bet's placed. So I can't. I am holding this ticket under my face. I'm holding a Pistons plus 10 ticket. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm hoping my family isn't watching. This is embarrassing. Just fading the Warriors in the back-to-back. Steph played 35 minutes. Clay played 35 minutes. I don't even want to talk because the more the talk, the more my self-esteem is plummeting right now. So, yeah, I bet Pistons plus 10. Go ahead. Laugh at me. Make fun of me in the comments. Either you guys.
Yeah. Pistons plus 10.
What?
I feel like the Warriors. Yeah, I feel like the Warriors.
He said it proudly, too.
Night.
He was proud to shout it out.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm not gonna regret it. Who the hell are the Warriors these days, bro? I mean, that team was washed. I feel like the Warriors blew their load last night. They were beating the brakes off the Nuggets from the late third quarter to the early fourth quarter, and then just completely choked that game away in the final minutes. That's got to be emotionally devastating. Now you got Kuminga out here leaking the fact that he wants out and that Kerr's holding him back. You got Moses Moody's camp the same goddamn day complaining about a lack of playing time. Draymond Green has not even been with the team since he got suspended, with Kerr referring to it as them giving each other space. The vibes of Golden State are in the toilet right now. And I think that a young, hungry team like the Pistons are primed to take advantage of that and to feast on the old and the dead that is the Golden State Warriors. Pistons defense remains putrid as ever. I mean, my Christ. But the offense has crept its way up to 15th in offensive efficiency the last 10 games. And that's a massive improvement from their marks for most of the season. The Pistons got some dogs. I don't know. I think they could do it. I believe in them. The fact that Alec Burks is out hurts. I must admit that. Burks has been balling. But, I mean, 10 points, 10.5 points. I mean, the Wiseman legacy revenge game? Who knows? Give me the Pistons.
Well, you're way more confident than I am. I'm holding the ticket, so I'm with you. But pump the brakes a little bit. It's the Pistons. Are we sweeping the Pistons, FTV?
Hell fucking no. This man Beaver just said the young, hungry Pistons.
Yeah,
I think y'all need to call the fucking number. I can't make a case for it. I wish I could. I think that's the easy way to cap this game. Oh, the Warriors in a letdown spot, or the news and shit. The Warriors have championship pedigree. They still have one of the best players on the planet. They could be taking this game as a get right spot. So they can absolutely smoke Detroit and nobody will blink an eye. I don't know. I like Jaylen to run in this spot. I thought I can get some sneaky value like I did the other day. His double dropped at like minus 125 the other day. But they're on to it now. I think it's a great matchup for Jaylen Duren. Other than that, I'm good for now. I haven't capped this game fully, so I might have something later on. But yeah, if you taking Detroit plus 10, quarter number. I don't.
Shipley called FTP a coward for not taking the Pistons.
Dude, he loves Pistons,
bro.
Shipley.
I'll definitely be that. I'm okay with that.
All right.
That Shipley.
Are you ready? Riot. Are you ready for the see, I'm starting to question what we're doing here on this YouTube channel because 64% of our viewers clicked Pistons plus 10. 64%. This is a sick group of people we've gathered here.
They smell blood in the water. They smell blood in the water.
He probably recalled the Warriors, the old and the dead.
They are. Dude, bro, they're really at the end of their life cycle, and it's time for the young pups to beat up on them.
The young pups.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. You know what? This one sucks because I'm gonna have this game on. I would love to bet it, and I'm hoping maybe one of you guys has an angle. Both of these teams are kind of in fade mode for me, so I don't really want to. I guess I would lean Memphis plus 4, but I don't really know if I want to bet Memphis right now. So I want to bet this game, but I personally looked at this game for 25 minutes and couldn't make my way to a side. Do either you guys have a side here, or do you guys? You guys don't have props for this one either, do you?
No, I was pretty much in the same boat. I was looking at it and I'm like, damn, I could see John Morant going under because the Lakers are pretty good at protecting the rim. I had thought that Vanderbilt was still in the lineup. That's not the case anymore, which kind of sucks because the other person who's under I was thinking about taking was Jaren Jackson Jr. If you got Vando on JJJ, that's a pretty nice under spot right there. He's also struggled against the Lakers in the past. I think he's under his last 8 to 10 games against them. But this motherfucker, JJJ, every time I bet him, whether I fade him, whether I ride with him, he's a man that doesn't respect the coin, and I just can't bet his ass anymore. I'm done with him.
Yes, you know what? I know people want me to put something up, so this is the way I would go. And I probably will bet this, but it'll just be me doing some gambling as more than like I don't really think I have an angle for this. It's more I was really disappointed in the way the Lakers came out. Who the hell was that? I bet Lakers minus 5.5, and I really liked it too. It was just the last game. Who the hell did they just play? Oh, the Heat. They played the Heat. And I was really disappointed with their effort in that game. So maybe the Lakers aren't. My angle was, hey, the Lakers, since the in-season tournament, they've only played 3 home games. So everyone's down on the Lakers, but they were really good at home early in the season, and we haven't really seen that get negated. Well, last night or whatever, 2 nights ago, they looked terrible against the Heat at home. So I don't know if I trust the Lakers at home anymore. Memphis coming off a bad loss to the Raptors where they were outplayed in their own building. But the Lakers were also just outplayed in their home building, so that doesn't really even make sense. I'll probably bet Memphis plus 4 to do some gambling, but I really don't have a strong angle in this one. FDB, any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, AD might set the franchise record for points and rebounds in this game.
Yeah?
It might get ugly. So, Memphis is a bottom 10, paint defense at the rim. The bottom 10 in defensive proficiency. Efficiency. I don't know why I said efficiency. As much as, JJJ defensive anchor, shit like that. He's more of a free safety out there, so he's not a anchor, right? A paint anchor. Mm-hmm. He's more of a free safety, kind of roaming around and shit. So, yeah, AD could have a day. All of his lines are pretty juiced. I'm still trying to find, the best way to get some value. I haven't looked at these late games as much as I need to yet, but that's one thing that stuck out. So John Morant's dead to me. I'm not betting him. So it's probably an AD
I saw you tweeting about that.
Yeah, he tweeted that.
Yeah.
It's bad, but yeah, it looks like an AD game for me. I gotta find exactly how, but that's all I got.
His Twitter
Question
is
for
right,
you.
is right under there. If you want to, he'll tweet that out later.
Does Xavier Tillman joining the starting five again, does that move the needle for you at all? I do respect him as a defender. No? No, what, my boy Xavier Tillman?
Yo,
No
he
respect
can play
on his name?
defense, can he?
Not on AD.
Yeah, well, that's
Okay, fair. All right, that's fair. He's only 6'7". Yeah, you're right.
Someone said Anthony Davis.
That was good. I forgot who said.
No,
I think that was
Jay
Jay
Briggs
the other day.
But like,
yeah,
I don't know
gold.
if that was a Jay Briggs original or like Anthony
Yeah.
Davis.
That was gold though. That was good.
47% of our viewers said they would take the 4 points with Memphis. 35% said they would lay the 4. So I guess the community is leaning towards my way too. But again, in case you just clicked on the link, I don't love this. I'm just doing some gambling here. Next. Raptors at Kings. And how can you fade this Raps team right now? How can you do it? I know AJ's on the Raps.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more so not on the Kings.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So I'll go first. These guys didn't get to the late games yet, so I'm flying solo here. This one, I said it on YouTube last night. This Raptors team's playing with a different energy right now, and the result of the trade, they brought in R.J. Barrett, who's from Toronto. The fan base is fired up. The team's fired up. They have this newly found confidence. Is the team actually better? Probably not, but they think they're better. The confidence is there, and they're playing with a new energy. Also, quickly, another guy, high-energy guy, gets the team rally, gets the fans into it. I took the Raptors +1, razor sharp on the road in Memphis. That line made no sense. I blindly rode this Raptors team, and I'm doing it again. Since the R.J. Barrett and Quickly have entered the lineup for Toronto, they're 2-0, and I'm 2-0 betting them. I'm going to do it again. Toronto +4.5. And like Prop Heaver said, Kings, man, they're just really struggling to find what they had last year. The way that they lost to the Hornets, they could not get a stop against Charlotte. They could not buy a stop, especially down the stretch. Charlotte was just nonstop buckets on them. So Kings defense has never really been the strength of their team. I think that Kings defense has hit rock bottom right now. So yeah, Raps +4.5 on the Raps. Prop Ever. You guys didn't get to these games yet.
No, I mean, I looked at it a bit. I mean, the Kings stink out loud right now. 1-5 against the spread their last 6 home games. I mean, the beam is dead. The beam is powered off. They're not playing good ball right now. I do love the energy that you're saying with Toronto. I mean, they look like a renewed team right now. I mean, it's nice to see this floor spaced a bit more. I mean, what I do like about the Toronto offense now is that they're moving at a faster pace. And I think it's really working out for them because the transition game is really flowing. Scotty Barnes, excellent in transition. Barrett, as much as he sucks, pretty good in transition. And Quickly, obviously, great transition player. So they've been really killing it in the transition game thus far. And I think they could do that against the Kings. Don't really respect the Kings defense at all whatsoever. And something I was looking at, it's kind of a nice matchup if we're using this year's number. But historically, I don't know why, but this dude, De'Aaron Fox, cannot score against the Toronto Raptors. Now, is it because OG was there? Very much possibly, but horrible history against this Toronto team. The team's stinking ass right now. We're getting some points. I'm a ride with the Raps.
And FTB, you said you haven't gotten to look at these 10 p.m. games, right? You said.
Yes, I'm in between two things. Somebody in the comments said Quickly over 16.5 points and assists. Let me know what book that is so I can fucking nuke the fuck out of that, please. I'm between two guys right now. Jakob Poeltl and Emmanuel Quickly. Obviously, Quickly is playing amazing ball right now. You know, the story came out about the coach telling him to just have fun out there, play free. And that's what Quickly thrives, when he's not having to, constantly make decisions, just drive, kick, shoot. That's where he kind of excels the most. As far as guards, nobody is checking Quickly on the Kings backcourt. So, maybe Davion Mitchell off the bench, but, how big of a role does he have? Nobody can stay in front of Quickly. Over 17.5 points, I think his line is. I really like that. Jakob Poeltl, points, rebounds, and assists, I think is 21.5. I really, really like that. So I'm kind of in between those two things right now. I'm a little hesitant to hop on a Toronto train because they're so popular right now and because people are so willing to back them. I do think it's a Toronto spot, even on the road. It's just a matter of defense. I think Toronto's going to play a lot more defense than the Kings are, which is critical in a close game in my mind. So, like Quickly. I probably like Quickly a little bit more than Jakob Poeltl, but I like both of them. I'll choose between the two, and yeah, that's all I like.
Quickly and Pirtle. Okay. All right, 1 second. Let's get to the community parlay, which
Community parlay.
I don't even remember. Did it hit
Yeah.
Wednesday night? Did the community parlay hit? I feel like I would have known. I feel like somebody would have commented if it hit. Well, here it is right here. Bucks money line. Bucks lost to the Pacers. There you go.
Okay, well, there we go.
The rest of it hit though. Oh no, Thunder lost to the Hawks too. So no, the community swings and misses on Wednesday. But let's get it back today.
Massive slate to choose from.
I know. And there's no chance that the community parlay will end up with the chalkiest shit ever. Our community never does that.
No.
Not our guys. Not our guys.
No. Celtics won't be in there.
No, Celtics probably will be in there. So it's Pacers money line, Celtics money line, Thunder money line, and 76ers money line. First leg of the community parlay.
No Detroit money line?
I mean, hey.
If
you want to get crazy, I'm down to get crazy.
Well, actually, technically, I am going to put Detroit money line as an option because they won the poll.
If the people roll there,
I mean, I'll respect them.
I'm gonna be excited.
I'll respect them for it.
Yeah.
Can't say I'll 100% tail, but I'll respect them.
And that means more than most things. I got a sports book open, by the way, so when the legs come, I'll add them.
Sounds good.
I don't know why, but the community parlay just hits so much better with the MLB. There's something about it.
I don't know. We're going to find it, though, because I don't know what we were doing different, but I felt like the MLB community parlay was hitting like all the time. Remember, it hit 3 or 4 times in 1 week.
Yeah, it was electric. And, dude, our viewers were pretty sharp there. They were doing a good job.
I don't know what we were doing different. You know what? We should go back and watch some of the old MLB videos to see what we were doing, because I'm thinking maybe we accidentally changed the process up without even realizing it. I think we did the same. You know what I think a lot of it was, though? This MLB season, there wasn't a ton of minus 300 favorites as much as normally is. Yeah, I feel like in seasons
past, yeah. And that's crazy because the Oakland Athletics played baseball this year.
Well, with the exception of that super hot streak the Braves got on, there really wasn't like a team that was just nonstop winning like that this year.
I kind of miss baseball. They're just thinking about when the A's were hot for that 5-game stretch, and I was just taking their team total over every day. God bless America.
Toast was doing Oakland first 5 money line every day for like a month.
It was, God, Paul Blackburn, what a guy.
What a guy. Paul Blackburn, what a guy.
What a fucking
certified wagon, Paul.
James Cap.
James Cap.
What a Euro.
I was calling him Capriellin forever. It was like 3/4 through the season. We did a live show every day. Then someone finally corrected me, like, "Yo, you're saying his name wrong." Yeah, it's Caprillion. I know that now. This one's close, by the way. Cavs and Timberwolves. I'm going to give it 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Someone said that's because MLB fans are smarter. What the hell?
I mean, I feel like that's
you must
subtle,
not have been tuned into the comments because they weren't exactly rocket scientists.
Nah. Yeah, that's true.
Mavericks money line, Heat money line. They voted for the Heat. Who won that poll? Magic or Nuggets? No, I think it was Nuggets still, even though the Magic. And Pistons money line is an option, guys. I just want to disclaimer. I know it seems fun to click Pistons money line, like just like just know what you're doing. Of course, the first 3 people all clicked Pistons money line.
Just now you're playing with fire.
Oh my God, is the Pistons money line really going to win this?
We got the people on the Pistons.
No way. It's Pistons money line. It's looking like. Oh wait, no. Here come the Nuggets. Here come Shipley's trying to rally the troops in the comments.
It can't be Pistons, bro.
Nuggets take the lead.
E. Shipley's battling for Monty's honor.
He's campaigning like he's running for office. Guys, come on. Click the Pistons. Do what's best. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And it is the Nuggets. The Pistons But because the Pistons got second place, they will get a second chance to get in there. So the last leg, we have Grizzlies, Lakers. The Lakers won that poll. Raptors, Kings. The Raptors won that poll, so another dog in there. And then Pistons were second place. And then who won second place in the other one? It was the T-Wolves. All right, last leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes. It's up and running.
I just want to know what's in Beaver's cabinets behind him.
There's a bunch of clothes and shit. I honestly, I'm waiting to move out. I need to move out, and then I'll have a bigger room, and I can put it in different cabinets that are right next to me. Got all these big ass cabinets.
All right. Oh, it's T-Wolves by. I'm sorry, Shipley. The Pistons are not going to make it. It's T-Wolves by a landslide.
Sorry, Big Ship.
Don't be sorry. We're not sorry, Shipley. Thank God. Odds? Can I get the odds on that?
Plus 257.
Plus 257. So here we are. Community parlay. Thunder money line, Cavs money line, Nuggets money line, T-Wolves money line at plus 257. And I have an underdog fantasy.
Oh!
And the crowd goes wild. All right. So here's my underdog fantasy here. Tyrese Maxey lower than 25.5 points because I expect the Sixers to go inside a lot with no Mitchell Robinson. I expect Embiid's usage to be high. Knicks under Thibodeau tend, not so much this year, but usually under Thibodeau have been played good defense on the perimeter. Lou Dort, I'm tailing FTB on this one. Higher than 1.5 3-pointers made, just blindly tailed. I clicked that while he was talking earlier. I'm tailing him on that. And Luka Doncic lower than 34.5 because he's listed as questionable. And what did I say about the Blazers? They play really tough defense on the perimeter. They play good defense against a three-point shot. They have young guys that run all day. And look, if Luka Doncic does end up playing, maybe he's not 100%. 34.5 is a lot of points. So there you go. That's my underdog fantasy. If you don't have an underdog account, let's bring up the map. Do I have the map? Yes, I do. If you don't have an underdog fantasy account, it's available in any state highlighted on this map. So if you're in one of these states highlighted in yellow, head over to the website or download the Underdog Fantasy app. Make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll get you a $100 deposit bonus match. So if you deposit $100, they will give you a free $100 to play with. Everyone, loaded NBA Friday night. FTB, thanks for joining. We'll get you back maybe on Wednesday. Well, I'll send you a DM. We'll plan it out. Maybe Wednesday next week. Me and Prop Beaver is actually coming over to the office right now. We're going to put the NFL video out. We already finished the Colts-Texans, the Saturday NFL. That's going to be up in about 30 minutes. So NFL stuff going. Tomorrow morning, college basketball show. Me, Toast, Andy, 10:30 a.m. We're going through, I think we have 23 games lined up. We're going through a lot of college basketball games tomorrow morning, and then NFL's the Sunday show. So thanks, as always, for watching. Remember to bet responsibly, and we will talk soon.